Hey folks, good morning. Welcome to Cruise Chat Live. I'm Walter, your independent travel agent, and for about the next hour or so, we're going to be talking all things cruising. We book land, luxury, cruise, expedition, anything you all need to travel in this amazing world. We can help you.
Sound off mic.
I sound off mic, do I? Oh, that's interesting because it's there. Let's see. Rebecca says I sound like I'm off mic, but it all looks like it's there. So anyway, we are going to be answering your questions about all things cruising over the next hour or so. Yeah, everything's turned on as far as I can see.
Well, I sounded so much louder than you.
Is that on up there? I don't know. I sound a little echoey. Okay, yes, that is interesting. I don't know. He said, but they hear me. So do you see both microphones on up there?
I don't see anything.
Oh, well, here we go. We'll just do this. You see it? See two microphones
I
bouncing
can't
around?
see anything.
There's nothing there?
No.
You see it? Hello.
I see one.
Oh, you see one? Oh, that's interesting. And yours is on, and mine is on, and that's interesting. I wonder. Okay. Hold on, folks. Hey, so we're having a little technical difficulties here. You could turn that off and turn it back on if you want.
Where's off?
You just press and hold the button on the top. Here we go. Hey, folks, how you doing? How's everybody doing out there? Try turning it back on again. Who knows? I know. Turn it on, turn it off. Bills fan saying, turn it on, turn it off. See what happens. Still only one connecting, huh? All right. Yeah. I'll try it on this end then. Let's try that. All right. So we're having some technical difficulties here, guys. We'll get it fixed in a second. Maybe.
Oh, worst comes to worst, we switch mics.
Yeah. So we'll get it. How about that? Do we have two mics yet? Do we have two mics up there?
So
Hello?
hard to see with this mic.
I know. Well, can you see two microphones or no?
No.
Just one? Okay, then I'll just take yours then.
Which one? It's the.
That's this one. Yeah, I'll just take yours then. I don't know. We're having mic difficulties. It's Mother's Day. You know what's really funny? Rebecca, the former audio technician, she can't figure out how to get this microphone off of here. There you go.
I didn't have to set things up.
There you go. How's that? Can you guys hear me now? How about that? Now I sound better, right? Yeah. I don't know. I guess try turning that one off and on a few times. But how's everybody doing? So those of you guys on YouTube, you may have a little bit of a hard time hearing Rebecca, but that's probably for the better. You're going to hear me much better than her today because for some reason the microphone receiver is not liking the second mic, and I don't know why. Huh? Oh no, they're both there. They're both there. I see them. So hopefully that works a little better. So yeah, they are both there. Yay! So that means you're going to hear Rebecca do. How's everybody doing now that we're back to the show? If you missed me at the top, I am Walter, your independent travel agent. We book everything land, luxury, cruise, expedition. Our services are free to you. You can find us at where'swaltertravel.com. Wherever you're watching me, there are links in the description and all of that good stuff. So hello. What's a good cruise line for a 40th birthday cruise? Yes. I mean, seriously, they're all good. It just depends on where do you want to go, when do you want to go, where do you want to sail from, and how long do you want to be gone? I mean, for some people, that's going to be, the icon of the seas. For some people, it's going to be the Azamara journey. It depends on what you're looking for, A, out of the ship, B, out of the cruise itself. And then, like I said, where do you want to sail from and when do you want to sail? Because that narrows it all down. I mean, there's only so many ships that are available at any given time from any given port. So, I mean, if you want to reach out and talk about it, in fact, I am setting up a big anniversary cruise and a birthday cruise right after this. I've got two big groups, one group of 16 and one group of 13 that I'm talking to later on today. We're going to be setting up things. But it's interesting, when you talk about birthdays, when you talk about anniversaries, those are very unique to you. So, I mean, they're all good. For some people, it is that big, bad ship. And then other people like, I just want a very small thing. I want to go here. For some folks, like I just did a 50th anniversary. That was Silver Sea, all the way with door-to-door service. It was a Mediterranean cruise. I want to say it was 16 days. It was over the top, everything. That was a 50th anniversary. Your 40th birthday only comes one. I've done birthday cruises on, you just throw a dart at a cruise line wall, and I've probably done a birthday cruise on that cruise line. So yeah, so we've literally done them all. So it really comes down to, what are you looking for? How many people are going with you, and what exactly do you want to do? So yeah. So reach out. Again, our services are free, so why not just reach out? So good morning, everybody. Let's see, we got a bunch of folks over here. Hey, Mark, you're going on the Jubilee on May 24th. Have an amazing time. It looks like a great ship. It's like a great ship. Hey, Silver Librarian. Hey, everybody. Mark's here. Everybody's here. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, everybody. I'm missing. There's so many people on TikTok. I got Bill's fan, Millie's. Hey, Millie's mom. How are you? Rick's here. Scott's here. Diabetic's here. John. Oh man, Bill's fan said it's actually sunny in Toronto. I like that. Benny's here. Hi guys. Hi everybody. Hi Ned. Hi Kurt. And if I missed somebody, I am so sorry. Good morning. Thank you so much for your support. And a very happy Mother. Oh yeah, Mother's Day. Let's see. What did you make, Rebecca? Rebecca made a bouquet of Lego flowers. Isn't this pretty? It's so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? All Lego. And what's kind of cool, I don't know how well you can see it, but the purple flower, it's all butterflies. Isn't that cool? Aw. She loves this stuff. I think we're just going to have to get Rebecca more of these. If you follow Tony on Lolita Loca, he's huge into Lego. So, of course, I had to send some pictures of this to him. It's beautiful. So, yeah, so if you're thinking about Lego and you want to do flowers, the botanical collection is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. You should see some of the stuff Rebecca built when we lived in Texas. She used to build these pieces for my old boss, and she did the Taj Mahal. She did Saturn V rocket. Oh my God, some of the stuff that she built was phenomenal.
Having built for things other people have purchased, I can tell you from my bit of advice, don't ever buy knockoff Legos.
Yeah,
never.
Yeah, they're not good. The Coliseum was one of the coolest ones.
I mean, I
really
know
enjoyed
Lego
that.
is expensive as all get out, but it is absolutely 1,000% worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Knockoff Legos don't fit together right. The colors don't match. They're terrible.
Everything's very weird. So I want to throw something up here, guys. This is something that I don't know that Virgin Voyages has ever done. You guys know that we have a big cruise coming up, or if you don't know, we've got a big cruise coming up in October 3rd through the 16th. It's going to be like the 5th cruise of the Brilliant Lady. The Brilliant Lady launches on September 5th. So 1 month later, we will be on October 3rd, and it's going to be a 13-day cruise. What's really cool about this, we're going to start in Quebec, Canada. Basically going to do a whole Canada, New England cruise with really long stays in New Brunswick and Halifax, so you'll have plenty of time to go explore the local area. Then we're going to come down the eastern seaboard. We're going to stop in Charleston for another long stop. So if you want to have dinner, you want to enjoy Charleston into the evening, you can totally do that. And then to top it all off, this will be the very first arrival by the Brilliant Lady into Miami. Now, she's the last known ship that they're building. We haven't heard that they're going to build any more ships. It's going to be the last time for them to make an entrance into Miami. So we've seen the Icon of the Seas. We've seen the World America both make the big splashy entrances into Miami. We're hoping and expecting that Virgin Voyages is going to do something too. We come in. But what they've allowed us to do, and I can thank Tamika for this. Tamika went to bat for us on this one. We have 10% savings on this particular voyage. Now, typically to get 10% saving on a voyage, we need to start well over 6 months, almost a year out to get any kind of savings on a Virgin voyage. This is a part of a new program that they have. Well, she went to bat for us, and we negotiated with Virgin Voyages, and we have a very small, and I do want to emphasize, a very small selection of cabins that are 10% off right now. We have sea terraces and we have central sea terraces, double occupancy at 10% off on this particular sailing, October 3rd through the 16th. I'll tell you where we're going. We're going to Halifax, St. John, New Brunswick, Eastport, Maine, Boston, Massachusetts, Charleston, South Carolina, and then we come on down to Miami. So if you want to come on this voyage, it is absolutely amazing. So a sea terrace right now, if you go on to Virgin Voyages website, a sea terrace is $4,680 for two people. That's double occupancy. Our price is $4,269.75. So that's like a $400 saving, more than $400 savings. If you want a central sea terrace, if you go on the website, it is $4,810. Our price right now is $4,686.75, so almost a $500 savings. Now, again, this is only us. You can't get this by going through Virgin Voyages, and I only have a couple of cabins. So if you want to come join us, I love Virgin Voyages so much. I got my little water thing out here. I love working with this company. And they have been very gracious and generous to say, yes, we will give you a couple of cabins on this sailing because we know you booked this. Basically, we've been trying to set up a group since before this new program even started. And they said, you know what? Go ahead, guys. Yes, we're going to give you just a couple. Not going to give you many, but we'll give you a couple of cabins. So if you want to come join us, we've already had 2 people book in the past since last night when I started announcing it via email and social channels. So we've already had a couple of people reach out and book on this one. 13 nights. Now keep in mind when you go on Virgin Voyages, Wi-Fi is included, gratuities are included. All of the restaurants and meals are included. The soft drinks are included, and the group exercise classes are included. So all of that is included in the thing. And Rebecca's now breaking her her Legos.
I was trying to fix it, and it's not easy to do while
see. So now she's breaking it off camera. The entire bouquet is gone. It's just completely collapsed because she can't leave well enough alone. But anyway, let's see. So what do we got going on here? What are my thoughts? Rick, hi. Rick wants to know, what are my thoughts on MSC? You're sailing on the seashore for July 4th. Keep reading good and bad. Well, that's exactly what you're going to read, Rick. So MSC, very interesting company. They are a privately owned company, so they do not answer to shareholders. It's owned by a family. And MSC Group owns MSC Freight, which you've seen those big freighters with those huge letters on the side, MSC, that's them. They own MSC Cruises. And they also own Explorer Journeys, which is the luxury line. But it's a privately owned company. They're based out of Geneva, Switzerland, basically an Italian company. That's where the family is from. Because they don't have to answer to anybody, they do what they want to do. And so I have personally witnessed extremely rude service from management, like basically yelling at the customers, which I've never seen on another cruise line. I've also experienced excellent service. So what is kind of holding MSC back as they make this huge, like they're having a huge coming out party in North America right now, right? I mean, they are the 3rd largest cruise line in the world by ships. And, their aim is to be the largest cruise line in the world at some point. And the way that they're building the ship, man, number one, they know how to build a ship. Their ships are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. There is more chrome on one ship than I think I've ever seen in Las Vegas. I want to know what the chrome budget is. The pools are deep. Pools are beautiful, at least on the seashore or seaside. We've been on all of those C-class ships. The pools are beautiful. They have that beautiful wraparound deck 8, which is kind of like a waterfront where you can walk around. Coffee's excellent. Pizza is excellent. It's just the service and the food is so up and down. It can be cruise to cruise. It can be day to day. Sometimes the crew is just literally indifferent. It's like you ask something or you talk about something and they're just kind of like, whatever. I don't have to worry about that because I'm not going to get in trouble. Doesn't matter. When you go on any other cruise line, you're used to the crew, trying to do anything they can to make sure that your vacation is going to be amazing. And yes, there are crew members on MSC that are going to do that. It's just they seem to be more the exception than they are the rule. Now, if you're staying in the yacht club, well, that's a whole different experience. You're in a ship within a ship. You will hear very few people complain about the yacht club. It's the rest of the ship that when you go to the main dining room, my favorite experience, and I talk about this all the time, my favorite experience is still the night that the main dining room was clearly off. The menu was apparently not good that night. And pretty much everything that I asked our server, she was like, no. And I loved her for that. And I love the honesty. So I picked the best of what, she thought, well, yeah, I guess if you're going to order anything. I mean, they messed up the linguine and clams. I mean, come on, that's an Italian cruise line. How do you mess up linguine and clams? But that's the knock. So the ships are beautiful. The service is very up and down. The food is very up and down. The buffet, when we went on the seashore, that was our second cruise. Like they were running out of salad dressing on like the second or third day of the cruise up in the buffet. And then by the end of the cruise, there was literally one salad dressing in the buffet, and they were only serving salad at night because they ran out of salad. It's like, how do you do that? But you're going to have a good time. I mean, you go in there with an open mind. You're going to have a great time. The rooms are lovely. Our room stewards have been good. I mean, the second time
They're not particularly involved, but
no, yeah,
efficient.
they're not very involved, but yeah, they're efficient, and
Do a good job.
we're not big fans of the entertainment. I think the entertainment is a little bit weak. There were some shows that kind of felt like a High School Musical, if I'm being very honest. But overall, oh my God, the sports bar. If you're a sports fan, holy crap. Seashore Sports Bar and that whole C class, man, they have amazing sports bars. So if you're a sports fan, you're gonna love that. But overall,
my other complaint about the entertainment was the quality of the sound.
Yeah.
It was like over driving and way too loud.
Yeah.
But what we've said is the cruise itself may have been a 6 out of 10, but if you're going by value,
yeah,
it's like an 8 out of 10. It's, you're not paying top dollar. So
yeah,
you can't really expect top of the line everything.
That's the thing you always have to keep in mind with MSC is like, what are you paying? You're paying a lot less in general than you are. Even, they're even lower than Carnival most of the time. One of the things I really, really enjoy about MSC is they're so well known in Europe that there's a lot of Europeans who will come over. Just like, Americans seek out brands that they know when they go to Europe. Europeans come here, they seek out brands they know. And so when you go on an MSC ship, you hear a lot of languages going on. And there can be some what we might consider rudeness with people that are like cutting in and doing because they're just used to doing that. And it's like, whatever, just let it go. But that's one of the aspects of MSC that I really, really do like is that it brings like a lot of people together from a lot of different countries. So Millie's mom actually had staff not friendly on Princess. We've been on 7 Princess ships. That's certainly something we have not experienced so far on Princess, nor have we heard any of our clients complain about that. But anything is possible. And then, but your room steward was good, so that's fantastic. Michelle said they have a chill vibe versus Carnival. You've done 7 with Carnival. I will say that nobody comes close to the Fun Squad on Carnival. So like if you're really into trivia and games and having a lot of things going on, the Fun Squad on Carnival is, I think, the closest. Well, actually, Princess is doing a nice job now too. Princess, when we were on the Sun Princess and we were on Sky Princess, I mean, they just had stuff loaded. But yeah, and I will say they are a little bit more chill than Carnival, especially on the top decks. It tends to be a little bit quieter, not quite so much things going on.
I will say it's a little harder to predict when you may have a lot of children on board because you get so many clients from other countries who may not have the same sort of school schedules that U.S. schools tend to have. Yeah. So you don't know. And that is the only complaint I've heard about the yacht club is sometimes you'll get on a sailing where there'll be a lot of children in the yacht club, and it kind of brings down the experience a little bit in the pool and lounge areas. Yeah, I mean, that is the thing, like the Haven, the yacht club, the retreat, those are not adults only. So you can have kids. And if there's a lot of kids, coming in, and again, especially MSC is going to be running more on a European schedule with a lot of people coming in. So you're like, oh, hey, the kids are in school here in the U.S. Well, you may not know about this European break and everybody's coming over. So you do need to be aware of that. It's kind of like, too, when we were at the Cocoa Beach Club at Royal Caribbean, there were on that particular sailing, there were a lot of kids and they kind of took over the pool for a while. So. And then Mark said they're on the Seascape in November out of Galveston. I mean, that's a big thing. So MSC is coming on strong. Currently, MSC is in New York, Port Canaveral. They just built the world's largest cruise terminal in Miami that can handle 3 ships at a time. They're building that spot in Galveston, which is actually going to be a shared, I forget who's sharing it with them, Norwegian or somebody. That's actually going to be a shared terminal. Plus, they're coming to Alaska in 2026. I would suspect by 2027, they will have a home port on the West Coast. Probably LA, it could be San Francisco, it could be San Diego, but probably LA. So MSC is not going anywhere. They're just going to get bigger
here in the U.S. So you can expect to see their name more and more and more. And then as those terminals open up, you're also going to see Explorer journeys. In fact, we're expecting Explorer to drop all new itineraries tomorrow, including Alaska. So Explorer is going to start expanding around the U.S. as well, because they're going to be using the same terminal. So it's going to be pretty doggone good. So, I see John is saying that MSC just dropped the schedule, the entertainment schedule for the World of America. For the World America, they've loaded the 2 theaters with nightly entertainment. You're looking forward to the Panorama Lounge. So John is going to be our guinea pig on the World of America. He's headed out. What? You're heading out next week, right? So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Irene saying they didn't find MSC to be rude, just unfriendly. I think that's a good way to say it.
Yeah. And I will say I've had more customer-facing crew that aren't as proficient in English as I'm used to on most of the American
That's
lines.
true.
I mean,
True.
certainly they speak far better English than I speak, whatever their native language is. 'cause
Right,
I only
right,
speak
right.
English, a few words of Spanish,
right.
but not much.
Yeah.
So, but that can be a problem sometimes, because I remember one time I was asking for directions
Yeah.
and it was painful.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, obviously, it's hard, right?
Yeah.
We have such
Yeah.
a weird language here. So I give them all the credit in the world just for even trying to learn
Yeah.
English. So it's kind of crazy.
Absolutely,
And then
but-
Scott's going out on the World Americans in 47 days. So that's going to be awesome. Yeah. So World America has really opened up, you know, a lot of eyes. Obviously, we got Drew Barrymore and Orlando Bloom now representing here in the U.S. So MSC has been here for quite some time. They just really haven't had a coming out party. And they're expanding their presence at Ocean Key, which is their private island. There's a smaller island that I've always looked at when the ship comes in, and you look, if you look straight back from the ship and you look to the right, there's a small island back there, and that sounds like the one that they're going to develop as kind of like a little private, enhanced little island over there. So that's going to be interesting. And I literally said last time we were there, I'm like, no, that would make kind of like a cool little like yacht club island or something.
Yeah, and I guess they're using
Yeah.
some of the stuff they've dredged to
Mm-hmm.
make the channel bigger
Mm-hmm.
for the actual Ocean Cape to build up the new island.
Yeah, and if you look at the documentary, Ocean Key did not look like that when MSC got it. Not only did they have to clean it up, but they completely reshaped the island. That little lagoon that cuts through the middle was not there. They created that lagoon to go through the middle. So yeah, it's really interesting. So they're kind of doing the same thing. They're going to change the shape of the new island. They're going to make it a little bit bigger. It's going to be very interesting. My guess is you're probably going to have to take a boat from Ocean Key and then just head over to the big island, because they have a sunset cruise now with a larger boat. So my guess is you're going to take that boat to head over to the secondary island. It just hasn't been said whether that's going to be paid or it's going to be Yacht Club or maybe a combination of both. Because right now the Yacht Club has their own space on Ocean Key, and yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see what they do with this new island. I mean, MSC is not going anywhere. If they decide to get the service and the food more consistent and maybe more to what North American audiences are used to for their North American product, they can make a real big dent in Royal Caribbean and Carnival, especially Carnival with the pricing being so close. And the one thing that Carnival does not offer is they don't offer that drink and Wi-Fi package as part of, you know, the booking. We can drop actually a rather good drinks package and Wi-Fi package right into the booking, and it's actually a very good value. Princess Plus is still a better value, but
And
it's a good
MSC
value.
has the status match, which is very nice.
They do.
So if you have status with another cruise line, you
Yeah.
can match into MSC's program
Yeah.
at whatever level they think your status is worth, and you get the perks of that level on MSC.
Yeah. So, and you're going to get 5 or 10% off the cruise. That's one of the big things that MSC does. When you have status, you get 5 or 10% off every single cruise. So that's a really, really good deal. So if you've got status on another cruise line, I would encourage you to just Google MSC status match. It'll take you right to the page. And there's this whole chart that shows you if you're this, you're going to be this. And I believe they even have hotels. It's not just cruise lines.
I
think they have
so.
some, like a couple of hotel chains too. If you're a certain status in a hotel chain, you can come on over and status match. And we had lunch with our Explorer rep the other day, and apparently they are now matching across the brands. I didn't know that they were, but he said, oh yeah, we're matching across the brands now. So if you have status in MSC, that you're going to have a match status over in Explorer. So yeah. I mean, there's no reason not to try MSC, especially for the rate. Oh my gosh, their rates are just amazing. So there's almost no reason not to try MSC, especially if you're within driving distance of a port. You should absolutely try an MSC ship. You know, it's interesting, like up in New York, they had the Meraviglia, or maybe they still have the Meraviglia, but they do have a ship up in New York. And we've heard, we've sent a client on it and it's like amazing. And then the following week I see reports that, the ship was awful. And it's like, what is going on? It's like all over the place. So yeah, it is interesting. Gary's asking, is MSC in the Pacific and Alaska? That's next year. So 2026, they're on sale right now. I can't remember which ship. It's one of their small ships, which is smart. They're sending one of their small ships up there. But yeah, so 2026 Alaska is open right now, and I would suspect by 2027 they'll have a home port, either LA, San Francisco, or San Diego. Maybe Seattle. Nobody's doing a home port out of Seattle. I mean, I suppose they could do that too.
Except for the Alaska season. Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be interesting. But yeah, I mean, MSC is a good value, and we're having more and more conversations, especially if you want to take a big group of people on a ship. Mm-hmm. Like we do have a big family. I want to say it's a family reunion, and they're Royal. Most of them are like Royal Caribbean people, but to bring everybody together on one ship at one time, it was like, oh man, MSC, how can we go wrong with MSC? So they're all going on the World America, actually. Yeah,
and
they're all going on
it's
World
nice because when you have family members who have a variety of different budgets, you can get cabins in all sorts of budgets.
Oh my gosh, but like the interior starts so freaking cheap. I mean, you can really get on there cheaply. So yeah, so there's all kinds of reasons to go on MSC. It's just, when we send people on there, we set your expectation. And that's true of every single cruise line out there. You got to set expectations, because sometimes you come in with these expectations of what it's going to be, and it's like those expectations are misguided for the product that you chose. So it's one of the things that we try to do when we book you guys onto some of these ships, especially if you're going on a ship for the first time or you're going on a cruise line for the first time. We try to set those expectations and let you know honestly, especially comparing packages. People are like, so Princess Plus, more at sea, all included, that Virgin Voyages. What's the difference between what everybody's doing? Because it is they purposely make it hard to go ahead and compare. And I'm really shocked that Carnival has never come out with the combined package, and neither has Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean has never come out with a combined package, but I guess both of them just feel like we don't need to. We're selling so much of this, we don't need to. Princess, if you're looking for the best combined value, I still think Princess Plus is like the best value for paid. And then right behind them would be Virgin Voyages, because there's so much that's rolled into the cruise that you would typically want to pay anyway. You got your gratuities, Wi-Fi, all the restaurants are in there, so you don't have to worry about a specialty dining, which is really nice. And then even the soft drinks, just something as simple as putting the soft drinks in is nice for so many people that they like to drink soda, or you like to drink various soft drinks, and you don't have to keep putting down $3, $5 every time you get a Coke or a Pepsi or whatever it is. That's just a nice little touch, and it honestly doesn't cost the cruise lines that much to include soda. Disney does it. So, hey, SL, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining in. We've already been talking for about a half an hour. I'll remind everybody that we are Where's Walter Travel. We do cruises, land, luxury, expedition. Our services are 100% free. We work with people all over the United States, North America. Our territory is North America and the Caribbean. So if you live in North America or the Caribbean, we can definitely work with you. Virgin Voyages is the only cruise line that allows us to work with people from all over the world. And not only can we do that, we can actually have 6 different currencies that we can book in with Virgin Voyages, which is kind of fun, to be honest with you. So if we can help you at all, where'swaltertravel.com. There are links wherever you're watching me right now. There are links in the description. There's links in my bio, so just tune in there. I'm going to walk through some of our group cruises. Feel free to drop questions in the chat. I will do my very best to give you the answers. But again, we're leading off with that Quebec to Miami. It's a 13-night cruise on the Brilliant Lady. It's a Canada-New England cruise starting out in Quebec. Then we're going to come down to Charleston, South Carolina before we make a triumphant entrance, hopefully, into Miami. Brilliant Lady, October 3rd through the 16th. Right now, I have a few select staterooms. I have the Sea Terrace and I have the Central Sea Terrace for 10% off. That's while supplies last or until they take them away from me. I do not have that many. So, but right now, the Sea Terrace is marked down from $46.80 to $42.69, and the Central Sea Terrace is marked down from $48.10 to $43.86. And that's double occupancy. That's the price of the stateroom. 13 nights. Wi-Fi, gratuities, all of your meals, soft drinks, and group exercise classes, all of that is included in that price for 13 nights. Plus, you get a hammock out on the balcony. So I hope you guys can come join us. Can I help you in booking a trip to Morocco? Probably. I mean, I have land tour partners. So, yeah, we do book everything. We are sending some clients to Italy very shortly. We're sending another set of clients on a combination. They're going to do a river cruise, and then they're going to do a big land tour. 2 separate products, but, you know, we combined it into one big trip. And we do theme parks. So, yeah, and we've got folks talking about Scotland, Ireland, and some other places. So, yeah, depending on, you know, when and where you want to go and how you want to go, we could probably help you out with that. Tracy, you're looking at Viking for a Christmas River market cruise. So the thing about Viking, and everybody leans into Viking because you all know Viking.
And it's a beautiful product. Don't
beautiful
get us wrong.
Product. There's nothing wrong with their product whatsoever. The thing that you have to be aware of, especially if you're a first-time cruiser with them, is they demand final payment 12 to 14 months in advance. So if you're going on Viking for the first time, and let's say you're looking at Christmas 2026, which will be a year from now, your final payment's going to be due like in October of this year. So you will have already paid up front. And that is the biggest turnoff for clients who come to us, and you know they come to us with Viking first because they've all heard of Viking. Whereas most of the other cruise lines are going to fall into the same 90 to 120 days out from the sailing. Avalon, we got Riverside, we got Riviera, we've got Uniworld, we got Tauk, I mean, there's so many, Emerald, Scenic, we got so many out there. And I would say we probably booked the most and Avalon for the Christmas marketplaces, although Uniworld is not far behind. We booked the least Viking just because of that reason. You know, clients are like, wait, I have to pay in full like 14 months, 16 months out. I'm like, yeah, and when I asked my Viking rep, why do you do that? And it's just basically because we can. I mean, they don't have a problem selling the ships. So do be aware of that if you're going to book a Viking river cruise, that can happen. Now, if you've already sailed on them, Tracy, it should now be, I think, 6 months out, maybe 9 months out. Like after the first sailing, they push it back. And then after like the second or third sailing, then it's like falls into like 6 months or 5 months. Yeah, the advance payment is not fun at all. But no, Viking is a phenomenal product, just as long as you understand that you will be paying in full up front. I mean, we've sent plenty of people on the ships. Nobody's complained, that's for sure. I mean, their service is top notch. Their ships are gorgeous. We want to get on a Viking ship one of these days. We had one docked right next to us, I think when we were on MSC, which was kind of fun, seeing the Viking ship right next to us. So Viking is stunning. So yeah, if you want some help picking out a Christmas market cruise, we'd be more than happy to help you select it. And if you're interested in some of the others,
generally, if somebody comes to us and says they want a Viking river cruise, we'll present Viking, but we'll also let you see at least a couple of other ones just so you have something to compare.
Yeah. So Tracy, the three big ones that we have been booking for clients is AMA Waterways, AMA Waterways, Avalon Waterways, and Uniworld. Those are the three big ones that
And like
people
I said, there's
gravitate to. And
nothing wrong with Viking.
no, and we've
Absolutely.
also booked Viking. So those are like the big four that we have booked. I'm trying to think if we've done any Riversides yet. I don't know if
Not
we've
yet.
booked one for Christmas. No, not yet. And then Riviera is coming on strong too. So Riviera is a European brand that has really concentrated on Europe. They haven't really like worried about North American advertising or North American marketing. Now they've decided we want to advertise and market. And one of their big selling points is they have a lot of solo cruising. A lot of solo cruising. So, in fact, they do entire cruises that are nothing but solos, which is interesting. And it's funny, some of my solo travelers are like, yeah, no, I don't want to go on that. I want to go on something that has a mix of people. But yeah, so, and then Riverside, what's really interesting about Riverside is that there used to be a river cruise line called Crystal that had some of the most beautiful ships on the water. And they went under either just before or during pandemic, somewhere around there, they went under. Well, Riverside bought the ships, and other than just cosmetic and, engineering and stuff and getting it ready, they really haven't done all that much to the ships because the ships are so beautiful and so well built. So if you were a fan of Crystal, or maybe you wanted to go on Crystal River cruises, Riverside has the ships, and they're the same names too. So yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, Tracy, go ahead and reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. You're watching me on TikTok. There's links in my bio that will take you directly to the contact us page, where you can set up an appointment and we can talk, and we can go ahead and talk you through it. Again, our services, remind everybody, we're 100% free. We don't charge a dime. We truly do not charge a dime for our services. We're very thankful that we're like in the top 20 of KHM travel right now, just based on the work that we've been doing. And so we're very thankful to all of you. And this second career has been quite amazing. Quite amazing. So, but thank you, Tracy. We would love to work with you. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Thanks so much for joining in. Let's see. Travel Saying World America had some of the most friendly down-home guests you have experienced, and that was across the board. Maybe they were giddy because it was a new ship, but they were very friendly. I'm sure it was a combination of that, right? Yeah. I mean, the new America, it's just fun.
And it's interesting. I think that may well be there. Isn't the cruise director American?
It's the first ship designed for the North American market, like specifically for the North American market. So you've got an American cruise director, you've got a comedy club.
Vibe. We're thinking going to be a different vibe for the cruise director stuff.
Yeah, this was aimed. I mean, there's no denying they basically borrowed the Oasis class from Royal Caribbean. There's really no. In fact, I was talking to a Royal Caribbean rep just a couple of weeks ago, and she's like, as you look at all the spaces on it, it's like Royal Caribbean, Oasis class. It's like it's almost space for space design like the Oasis class ship, which is hilarious. So it's going to have a much more, it's going to be a more upbeat vibe. It's going to be a more party vibe. Whereas when you go on all the other ships that were designed more for the European markets, it is a more low key, more chill vibe. Now we might start to see some of that spill over into some of the other ships as they start to make a bigger push into the North American market and maybe try to liven up, because all the ships have had a pretty live, like a 70s, 80s party. They've had that white party and some other stuff, but not to the level of like, Utopia of the Seas is a party ship, man. That is just 100% party ship. So, John is waiting for Celebrity to start their river cruising to book one. So that's a very interesting statement, John, because I'm going to an event in July in Cleveland with KHM Travel Group. Celebrities, vice president, CEO, I can't remember who is going to be there, but one of the top people at Celebrity is going to be at that event, and they're going to take all the wraps off the river cruising exclusively at our event. So stay tuned in July. I will have a lot more information, and I'll try to see if I can't record some clips with that Celebrity rep on the river cruising. What I'm still waiting to find out is whether Royal Caribbean now status matches. You got Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Silversea. Are they going to status match over there, and how are they going to do it? Now, here's the thing about Celebrity that we have seen. We don't think they're going to run it like every other cruise line, which is
River cruise line.
Yeah, river cruise lines. They're more or less all included. Once you get on the ship, Your drinks are included, your coffee is included, food is included, maybe a shore excursion or two is included. That's kind of where they differ a little bit, whether or not they have shore excursion. Sounds like Celebrity basically going to run it just like their ocean product. You pay one price to get on the ship, and you pay another price to get the Wi-Fi, another price to get the drinks, another price to get the excursions and all of that. It's going to be interesting to see how people who typically do river cruising, if they're going to accept that.
Well, I think it largely depends on how they price it.
Exactly.
Too.
So I think what they're really trying to do is just introduce river cruising to ocean people who are used to paying a certain way on the ocean. So they're going to be like, oh, okay, I guess this is how it is on rivers. When if you go on other river cruise lines, you know, a lot of times like everything is included. Now it may not be, when I say all drinks and coffee are included, it may not be like the full drinks. Like if you want the top shelf of everything, then yeah, you do have to pay more.
And sometimes it's only with lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
Quite often.
But it's going to be very interesting to see how that, and it did sound like they're basically trying to do all suites. They're trying to do kind of like what they did with the Celebrity Flora. The Celebrity Flora basically has the sky suites and up that you would be used to seeing on the big ocean ship. So yeah, so they're starting with 10 ships. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what they're going to do. So yeah, we're going to see.
I'm holding out judgment on that one till we
actually see what it is. Yeah, because we don't know. They literally have a tight lid on that.
I mean,
so we
I
do
can
not
say
know
if
yet.
I was booking tomorrow, I would not be waiting for Celebrity River.
But we'll see, because they're starting out with 10 ships. And it is kind of a crowded market already. We have two more that are actually launching river products, and I can't remember offhand, but two more brands announced that they're stepping into river. So river is going to get big. Interesting thing about river ships is they have to build them specific for the rivers that they're going to sail on. It's not like you can just build an ocean ship and then just send it out on the oceans, because of the draft, the width of the river itself, the heights of the bridges along the way. The ships have to be designed for that specific river, and you can really see it. Like if you look at the ships on the Nile, you look at the ships in Cambodia. Completely different than the ones you see in Europe. But even in Europe, you'll see some ships that are very flat and wide, and then other ships that are narrow and tall. So it's going to be interesting that you can't just simply build ships and then just send them out. They have to be specific for that particular river. So yeah, it's really interesting once you really start to dig in. It's been a lot of education for us, learning about the rivers and the different ships and how they operate and who does what. So yeah, it is really, really cool how all of that works. Chris wants to know, is Turks and Caicos safe enough to get an Airbnb? They're debating between all-inclusive or Airbnb. I can't answer that question. I do not know. So yeah, I can't tell you if it's safe enough to rent an Airbnb. So
we've only been there on cruises, and I can't say as I've ever.
I would take a look at the State Department, see what their guidance is on that, and then make your best decision. If it were me,
look at some reviews of Airbnbs in the area.
I would again just direct you to the State Department website and just go by them. If it was me, I'd be going with the all-inclusive just because it's going to be easier. I don't have to go out shopping. I don't have to get anything. But with something like that, I would just go with the guidance of whatever the State Department website has. Yeah. Good morning, Alex. How are you? For the Philly group cruise, that they're a confirmed group hotel block? That's a great question. We have been working on that for a month and a half and going nowhere fast.
It's
really been a big pain in the butt, and we're still working on it. I got some ideas from Jenny on how they were able to manage some of these. Basically what it is we have multiple partners that say, oh yeah, we can put together a group for you. And then it takes about a month for them to get back to us. And then when they do get back to us, it's like, oh yeah, we want a 90% deposit on the entire block. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not happening. So yeah, we're still working on it, Alex. And Jenny B gave us some great ideas that I'm going to work on this coming week to see if we can just work directly with the hotel. We have 250 people coming on this cruise. Probably about 180 to 200 that are going to need room. So that's been part of the problem, is the size of this block. For the group that's traveling in October, it was super easy. I needed 25 rooms, and that was really easy. I was able to get 25 rooms, no problem, from a hotel in Times Square. So that's pretty cool. Everybody coming in, they're going to be able to stay right there in Times Square. The hotels in Philly, it's been a little harder just because of the size of the group, and we're working on it though. We are working on it. I was really hopeful I was going to have something last month to announce to everybody. We had to wait until we got within a year of the cruise anyway, just to get started. And then we've been a little bit let down by some of our land partners on what they can and can't offer. So we'll let you guys know what's going on soon. I will say that Norwegian, and I have been meaning to send out an email. Norwegian actually is now offering a land pre-cruise to that cruise. I think it's 2 nights in Philly or 3 nights in Philly. So they did it's like a pre-cruise tour, like going to Alaska that they just added. So I've been meaning to send out an email to everybody to let you all know about that. And if you wanted to switch to that, you could, and just go ahead and like do their tour. But yeah, sorry, Alex, we're working on it. And yeah, and I'm if you're watching me on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, I'm kind of flipping through some of our group cruises. For those of you on TikTok, if you want to come join us, we've got group cruises. Let's see. So we're going to Italy in October of 2026 on the Celebrity Constellation. That's going to be October 23rd through November 2nd. Then we're going to, there's still some room for Alaska if you want to join us next month, June 26th through July 8th. We're going to be on the Oceania Riviera in Alaska for 12 nights. That's going to be amazing. That's a round trip from Seattle. The one that we've been talking about, we're going on the Brilliant Lady, October 3rd through the 16th of 2025. We've got 10% off on the sea terraces and the central sea terraces while supplies last, double occupancy. La Lita Loca has a 7-day Canada New England cruise on the Enchanted Princess, October 11th through the 18th. And then we're going to Hawaii. If anybody wants to go to Hawaii, February 4th through the 20th, 2026 on the Emerald Princess. And then La Lita Loca has their big Philadelphia Triangle cruise, if you will. It's going to be Philadelphia, Bermuda, and Charleston, sailing April 16th, 2026. And if you missed any of that, you just go to where'swaltertravel.com. There's a group travel menu right there at the top. You can go in there. You can find all of these group cruises, and then you just reach out, and we will be more than happy to book you on the cruise. So SL, the VV discount opportunity is really brilliant, so worth having a travel advisor, our expertise, and access to deals. What cruise line would be best for an older 70-plus couple? It's the same answer as before. It depends on the couple. I mean, it can be anything. Like, let's just talk Virgin Voyages right off the bat. So we have cruised with 18 to, I think the oldest couple I met was 88, something like that. And they were having a blast on there. So there's no best cruise line for an older couple. Is, again, what do you want? I met a woman who was just walking very slowly with a walker on the Symphony of the Seas. Big ship, big loud ship, right? Oasis class ship, 6,000 people, whatever it is. She said, this is my favorite ship in the world, this class of ship. And I never would have, because she's walking nice and slow. I figured she's going to get run over by people. She said, this is my favorite class of ship. I love Central Park. I love that everything is right here. I love that I can do, and I never would have pictured that. And so she was 70 plus. And I never would have pictured that. So there is no best. It's all about, it's just like everything else. Where do you want to go? When do you want to go? How long do you want to be gone? And where do you want to sail from? And then that narrows down the field tremendously, because based on that, there are going to be anywhere from, say, 5 to maybe 20 ships that are going to be available at that particular time doing what you want it to do. And then based on that, they're all doing specific itineraries. So there really isn't. It's like, what do you like to do? What do you want to do? What do you want this experience to be when you go on this sailing? And then that's going to determine the ship. There is no best cruise line for a 70-plus-year-old. A lot of people just lean into, oh, well, Holland America is for older people. It's actually really not. You see a lot of older people on it because they have a lot of extended itineraries. Once you go to 14 days, 21 days, 30 days, well, guess what? You're going to have an older clientele on the ship. And that's true of every single cruise line. Anytime you start getting into the longer itineraries, when you see Carnival does their journeys. I forget what they call them, something journeys.
It actually is just
It's
Carnival
called
Journey.
journeys, right? Yeah. So these are extended voyages. And the problem with those extended voyages, and you will see an email all the time that comes out, or a letter comes out all the time, due to the amount of diamond, platinum, whatever the top level is on Carnival, due to the fact that we have so many of these people on the ship, you're not going to get the priority stuff that you're used to getting. And so there's a much older crowd on these Carnival ships that are going on these 16, 20, 30, 40 night cruises that Carnival has as part of their journeys. So anytime the cruise gets longer, it skews older. And for some people, 70 means I'm slowing down and I'm relaxing. And for other people, it means I'm getting on the zip line and I'm going mud buggy and I'm doing all the stuff I want to do. So what do you want to do? What does 70 mean to you? And what do you need to have on the ship? And what do you need to have on the itinerary?
Yeah, and it's funny. Currently we've only done the one Oceania cruise. It was over a holiday, so admittedly, it probably skewed younger than it might otherwise. But I read a review from somebody else who was like, it was terrible. Nobody was mobile. They were so old. And I'm like, well, maybe. But you got to take into consideration, first off, on all the quote unquote luxury lines, the people who are older probably have the income to be able to afford it.
And the time.
Yeah, because they like a lot of these other things are doing longer cruises.
Yeah. Celeste is saying, 70 plus meant BB was great for her.
Right? And other people want to stick with Royal or stick with Carnival or.
Exactly. I mean, the thing about Virgin Voyages, it is very much a come as you are ship. They just want you to come on the ship and enjoy yourself. And they don't care about age, color, creed, sex, religion. They don't care. They just want you to come on and be a little community. For as long as we're on the ship, we're going to have a good time together. And it really is that. So, and most every cruise line really is kind of like that. But Virgin does take it to another level of just kind of being what you want to do. So yeah, it's really SL. It really is what it comes down to what do you want to do. I'm glad that was helpful. I wish we could help you. I know what you're down under or something like that. So I hope you have a good local agent you can work with that can help you. I mean, if you ever want to SL, you ever want to drop me a line? I'd be more than happy to just send you a couple ideas and go, hey, maybe consider this, and then you can go talk to a local agent and see if they can't help you out. So. But I'll bet you can find a local agent.
This is exactly the reason why, especially the first time you come to us, why Walter wants to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Because he wants to know, what are you looking for? What's important to you?
Yeah.
What isn't important to you? That helps him and us pick out a cruise that is probably going to be a good fit for what you're looking for. The more more information we have, the closer we can get to picking your perfect cruise.
Social security number, credit card numbers, all very helpful. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I would never do that. And in fact, we don't even collect your credit card numbers. That's one of the things I'm really excited about, is that we have this whole travel management system. And one, you guys have to enter your credit card in every single time when you want to authorize payment, because we don't store it. And then every 30 days, the system is flushed out. All your information goes away. Has there been a slowdown in bookings? All I can tell you is that we're still ahead of last year. In fact, we're still ahead of last year by a big margin. So, I mean, there's weeks when it's slower, but our numbers are still ahead of last year. And today I have the potential to be booking 2 groups of about 40 people total just today. So no, not really. I think the one thing that has changed is we don't have quite as many meetings as we have in the past, only because we're working with so many repeat clients. So now it's the clients are sending us stuff by email, and then we're just sending it off to them. Here you go. Whereas, we were building up so much new clientele over the first 2.5 years. Then we can, so now we're at the point where people are starting to just get into a repeat business. So I think we're having fewer meetings, but that's because we have so many repeat clients that we're working with now that don't require a meeting. Or maybe they're just like, hey, you know what to do. Here's the information. You set it up. I kind of miss having the conversation though. So sometimes I'll just set up a meeting because I just want to talk to y'all.
Gets tired of talking to me.
I know. I'm just talking to her. Hey, Desiree, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Alex, if you can be in two places at once, you'd get on the Brilliant Lady. I heard they recently announced a few changes for Deck 7. If you're talking about that VV Insider, I have no idea. We'll see it. All we know is that the ship is going back in, or she's in right now for some wet dock. Tamika didn't know what they're doing. So nobody really knows what they're doing. We do know that Rojo's coming, so I'm very excited about that. I'm just actually I shouldn't even say it. So all I'll say is we actually did have one person who switched cruises, but it's all good because it's still a Lolita Loca referral. But when she saw the prices dropped on the Brilliant Lady, she did actually decide to switch over to the Brilliant Lady. So she's like, look, I'm on the Philadelphia cruise, so I'll see Tony and Jenny in April. Going to come over to the Brilliant Lady. So it is a crazy cruise, and it is such, I mean, Virgin Voyages has never done this to my knowledge. I have asked in the past for discounts, for savings on bookings, on rooms. Like, look, I'm trying to get the ship booked up a little bit more. Will you work? No, we really can't. You passed, And we worked on this for a while. I mean, I worked on this for a while. I was pleading to Tamika. Tamika's like, well, I don't know. Let's see. And we just kind of went back and forth. And it's just part of, I want to think part of it is just the fact that we're a top 100 agent. So, we do represent the brand. We represent the brand a lot. I'm representing it today while we're just working on the show. I do love this brand, and very thankful to Virgin Voyages for saying, yes, okay, we're going to let you do this. We're not going to give you many. We're just going to give you a few. Because, typically when you do these early, you can just keep booking into it. They're like, once you run out of these, that's it. Okay. We're just going to give you a couple of them. So 10% off right now on the Brilliant Lady on this amazing, 13 nights, all restaurants are included. Your gratuities are included. Your Wi-Fi is included. The soft drinks are included. Group exercise is included. All of that is included for two people for $4,269 for 13 nights on a balcony with a hammock. There's a lot of 7-night cruises you can't take today in the Caribbean for that same price. So isn't that crazy? So, hey, Amanda, you've got a lot of your stuff. Okay, good. So Amanda, who's tuned in here, we've been working with her on basically a DIY. She's going over to Europe, and she just needed some help. We found her. She had a little schedule. I want to do this schedule. Can you just help me find some hotels here, there? And so, we helped her find some hotels. She found a great flight on her own, and then I gave her a link. We actually have a Viator link. So if you want to book like Viator cruises or Viator tours and things like that, you can, it helps us a little bit by using the affiliate link. But this has been basically Amanda and I. She's been doing a lot of heavy lifting. I've been doing some heavy lifting. Well, I've been doing some lighter lifting, really. She's been doing a lot of the work, but I've just been helping her. And that's one of the ways that we work as well. And that's really how I like to work as a partner. I don't want to just take over. This is what you're going to do. It, some clients, that whole World America family reunion, she came with a spreadsheet. I loved it. Everybody's name, birthday, phone number, mailing address. I'm like, this is great. I love this. And she's like, yeah, I'm really used to like planning it all myself. But at this point, I just want somebody else to be the point person. I'm like, great, I'll be your point person. So like with Amanda, we've been going back and forth. She's been doing a lot of work with her husband, figuring out what they want to do, where they wanted to stay. I helped them locate, and they had very specific price points and budgets they were trying to stick with. And I found, for the most part, I found things that worked and that look safe and that are in good locations. So yeah, Amanda's a great example of what we do when we're not doing cruises. When we're doing other things. So yeah, thank you, Amanda, for working with us. I'm glad that you've been able to do that. Brandy wants to know, do we help book hotels before a cruise? Do we get any kind of deals being a travel agent that help? So yes, we do book cruises.
Hotels.
Hotels, excuse me. Yes, we do book the hotels before and after. We can book land tours. We can book all of that stuff. We book the bulk of our hotels through the travel agent version of Expedia. And because of the host agency and the consortium that are that are part of that we're a part of, we get some hotels up to 45% off. And you'll see it in there that I don't see the price elsewhere. Some of the hotels are just pretty much straight up pricing, and then other hotels it's going to be we do get a discount on them. So yeah, so we can help book the hotel.
5 or 10%.
Yeah, typically it's 5 to 10%. We've seen a lot of 20 and 25%. It just obviously depends on when you're booking and where you're going. Like if it's a really popular time, there's not going to be any discounts. But yeah, we can book the hotels for you as well. Typically what we do when a client asks for a pre and or post hotel, we'll give you 3 options. So, here's 3. And then you just tell us which one you want and we go ahead and book it for you. So yeah, we can pretty much take care of everything, including transportation. We had a client who was flying back from Rome. And while he was waiting for his connecting flight, we found out that the cruise line messed up the transfer that was supposed to take him home from the airport when he got back to Atlanta at 11:30 at night. So while he was taxiing on the plane to the runway in Miami, we booked him a brand new car that picked him up at 11:30 at night when he landed 2 hours later and took him home. So yeah, so we can pretty much book everything if you want. I like to say we do as much or as little as you want us to do. So yeah, so we can just help with all of that.
Like the hotels and flights and stuff, we only book as part of something else.
Correct.
We'll not book those as standalone things, but if you've got some other part of your trip booked with us, yes,
correct,
absolutely help with the hotels and
correct. Hey Rita, first time watching. Thanks so much for watching. Yeah, and so to kind of repeat what Rebecca was just saying, it's like, yes, we will book the hotels, yes, we will book flight, but only as part of a travel package. If you just simply reach out to us and say, hey, can you just book a hotel for us for Rome? I don't do that. But if you book a cruise, or we're putting together, like with Amanda, we put together a whole package of multiple hotels and things like that, yeah, I'll work with you to do that.
I think the only exception we made was for my mother, and that's my mother.
Yeah.
And she booked the cruise before Walter became a travel advisor.
Well,
so.
What happened there too was her hotel canceled on her, which kind of sucks. She was on the cruise, the hotel canceled on her. So of course, I said no because Mom hasn't booked a whole package with us, but Rebecca kind of twisted my arm, said it's my mother.
She booked it before you were in this game. It's not her fault.
I know. No, of course we're going to take care of her mom. Her mom is actually going to be on the Philadelphia cruise. So if anybody is coming on the Philadelphia cruise, I'm going to apologize in advance. Her mom is going to be there.
My mother's very nice.
Her mother is very nice, says Rebecca. Anyway.
Hey, she's the only parent we have left between us.
I know. It's kind of sad.
Value her.
It's kind of sad. So, yeah. Brandy, reach out. That's awesome. Reach out. The Baltic cruise. I'm trying to remember it. Sorry, I'm blanking on which exact one that is. But yes. Okay, yeah, absolutely reach out. Thank you. Annette, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. John wants to know how many people are in the Med Group cruise. Is it too early to start looking into pre-cruise travel that far out? Well, we really can't book much in the way of hotels. Certainly can't book flights yet. I don't know. I think we got 5, 6 rooms so far.
Yeah,
we don't expect it to be a very big group, but it is a little early still. Yeah. So we don't expect it to be a very big group. We do have one couple though that's doing the entire thing. They're doing the full 25 days. So that's going to be fun. We're going to have
aside from us.
Yeah. So we're doing the full 25 days back to back. We do have one couple that's doing that, but I think we've got 4, 5, or 6 staterooms booked for the actual Italy and Croatia part. So it's going to be fun. Bills fan 72. Do I have any recommendation for transportation from Rome to the port? From Rome to the port. Let me see. Hold on. TikTok making me do this stupid thing again. 2 objects that are the same. I don't know why they do this. It really drives me crazy. Stand by. That's weird. I don't know why.
Are they making you solve a puzzle while you're
they're making me solve a puzzle to stay live. It's so annoying. And then they have 2 things that aren't really the same. So anyway, transportation from Rome to the port. Now that TikTok says I can stay live. Yay. There are a couple of ways to do it. Now, if you book an excursion to the cruise line, obviously you're going to get right up there doing that. Two, there are trains, but you got to be very careful with the train because there's an express train that has like maybe 1 or 2 stops or no stops and just go straight to Rome. Then there's the local that's just going to be like stopping all the way along the way. It's going to take a lot longer. So if you're going to do the train, make sure you pay special attention to the schedule of that train and get the express train that either has no stops or just a couple of stops on the way up. Then, of course, you can do private transportation if you'd like. There are shuttle like we can book a car that will take you. We have booked a car. In fact, did Clifford get back yet? So Clifford, one of our clients, he actually went to Rome early, and we booked a private transfer. You'd be surprised at how that private transfer either is a similar price or it might be a little bit more, but really not all that much more. Private car pulls up, picks you up, takes you straight there. So those are really, and they're I want to say there's some sort of bus service too, but I can't remember exactly. Now, if you're on a cruise and that is your final destination, there are 2 sets of transfers that will happen from Civitavecchia up to Rome. One set of transfers will take you to the airport. Then there's another set of transfers that actually drops you off like someplace in city center. So then you can get to your hotel from there. So you can always look into that too with the cruise ships. And if you book through a travel agent like myself, I can always look to see, well, what options are they offering? So yeah. Hey, Barbara saying, yep, I booked a private transfer from Rome to the port. That's a really nice thing. I've done that for in fact, I had one set of clients that were they were in Venice and the ship was going to be in Ravenna. And I booked a big van for them. I think there was 8 or 12 in the party that were all going to the Celebrity Constellation, basically doing the same cruise we're going to do next year. And they were like, well, how are we going to get to whatever? And it was an interesting thing because in Venice, of course, there's no vehicles. It's all boats. So the package was actually a boat first, and then they got on the van. I'm like, that's like the coolest thing. You're getting on a boat, and then you're getting on a van. How cool is that? So
I think that's one of the reasons we're going to just stay in Ravenna the one night before the cruise, just so we can already be there.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll spend some time in Venice, sure, but
right.
But yeah, Ravenna looks very pretty too.
Yeah, yeah. John wants to know Gruesome Magazine. By the way, if you're a fan of horror, make sure you check out Gruesome Magazine. John is tuning in on the YouTube side. For the October trip, do we have group travel from the hotel to the cruise and then from the cruise to the airport? We haven't set any of that up yet. First, we need to see how many people are actually going to sign up, and because we are flying. So one of the
our October group or Tony and Jenny's.
Yeah. Which October group are you talking about? I assume he's talking about ours because that's the one I had on there. For Tony and Jenny's October group, we actually have a hotel in Times Square for the group, and we have a motor coach that's going to pick everybody up and take them to the Enchanted Princess. Now for the Brilliant Lady out of Canada, we don't have any. Yeah, you're talking about the Brilliant Lady. So we haven't set up anything yet because first we just need to see how many people are going to be going. But the oddball thing about Quebec is that there are not that many great flights into Quebec. Most of the good flights are into Montreal. And then it's about a 3.5-hour train ride from Montreal over to Quebec. So what Rebecca and I are doing, we've already booked it. We're flying into Montreal. We're going to spend 2 days in Montreal. Then we're going to take the train. We're going to head over to Quebec. We're going to spend 2 days in Quebec because neither one of us has been to either one of those cities. I want to do some eating. I want to really explore. And then we'll be getting on the Brilliant Lady. And then we understand that Virgin Voyages, which used to only offer transportation from the ship to the airport for the rock stars, it sounds like they finally opened that up to where you can buy it for anyone. Now, in Miami, if you get off the ship early, there are shuttle buses actually just waiting. I mean, it's very easy to get an Uber Lyft. But there are, every time we walk down to get our Lyft ride, there's always vans sitting there going, hey, $25 to get to the airport, $15 to get to the airport, whatever it is. So, but no, we haven't set up anything yet. Alex is bringing up an interesting point. I should do a cruise from San Juan to Orlando to tack on some more sea days. Interestingly enough, the Valiant Lady at the end of April in 2026, you guys need to look this one up, is super cool. One of our clients actually reached out to us about it. At the end of April 2026, the Valiant Lady is going to go from San Juan to New York City in a repositioning cruise. She's, I believe she's hitting Tortola. She's hitting, I want to say Charleston, South Carolina, and even Newport, Rhode Island before she comes to, oh, it's a great itinerary. It's fabulous. 9 nights on the Valiant Lady from San Juan to New York City, April, at the very end of April into May of 2026. Fabulous itinerary. So, Alex, it's not San Juan to Orlando, but it is San Juan all the way up. And besides, I see what you're saying. You're saying San Juan to Orlando for, I don't think anybody's doing San Juan to Florida at that point. The only one that might would be Explora, but I don't know if they're there yet. But yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
They'd be doing San Juan to Miami.
Yeah. So, but you can definitely, that's San Juan, since you brought up San Juan to New York City in April, the very end of April of 2026. So if anybody is doing, if anybody's doing that Philadelphia cruise, man, you can do the Philadelphia cruise, and you can fly down to San Juan and then take the ship back to New York City. That would be a lot of fun. Ha, 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 ha. So Mimi saying that a couple of weeks ago, they purchased the VV transfer, Virgin Voyages transfer from port to the Miami airport. It was awesome, smooth, and no stress. Yeah, that's something that was reserved just for the rock stars. So it's nice to know that they're opening that up.
Well, and, of course, and hopefully it's a more affordable option than what they offer the rock stars.
And of course, we've got 20 minutes left, and we've totally forgotten you guys on TikTok. If you've been trying to ask a question about Virgin Voyages, you can't use the word Virgin. You got to use the letters VV. So sorry about that. But yeah, so if you've been asking, if you have been trying to ask a question about Virgin Voyages, we always forget about it. So use the letters VV, or use the name of the ship, Brilliant Lady, or whatever. So Barbara, it was great. You had a Mercedes with a private driver going from Rome to the port. I'm telling you, man, it is so nice. These guys are amazing. I've used the same service. They're global, and I have yet to have the slight. In fact, the car that I had to arrange this past week, my client said the driver that I got literally 2 hours before they landed, it was a better car, it was a better driver, better service than what the high-end ultra luxury cruise line provided on the way to the airport. So maybe just because he was frustrated, but that was nice to hear that we were actually able to do that. And that's like the second or third time that we've had to order a car last minute, either while somebody was in the air or getting ready to head home, just because either they ordered a service that didn't work out or something happened, or they just decided, you know what, we really want a car now. So it's like the second or third time that we've actually had to order a car. Mimi, $35 for the transfer with Virgin. That's right there. It's right on the money. Right on the money where it should be. So that's good.
Uber Lyft would be probably less, depending on, if you can get one these days.
If you get off the ship, if you're in Miami and you got to go to the airport, do not delay. Don't be in that last group coming off, because the Miami port is getting so congested that Uber and Lyft drivers are refusing to pick up as you get later into the day, because they know they're going to get stuck in traffic, and no driver wants to be stuck there for 3 hours knowing they're just going to get one ticket when they could be running around Miami getting a bunch of tickets, a bunch of rides, I should say.
Can't blame them.
So I don't blame them. So yeah. So anything from $45 under is going to be great in Miami. Get to the airport. Most of the cruise lines like 35 to 55, somewhere in there, depending. So, hey, good morning, Timberland. How are you? I hope everything is going well. I'm so excited. For today. Got some big meetings going on. Oh, the flamingo is very excited back there too. Look at her. She is trying to take off back there, just flapping away in the breeze. But let's see. So what else we got over here? So for those of you who weren't tuned in earlier, I'll show you again. If you weren't tuned in earlier, this is Rebecca's Lego Botanical. She made Lego flowers. How about that? Of course, I had to send a picture to Tony. Tony had to see it. Tony has all those great Legos over there. So very beautiful. This is part of the botanical set. This is from Costco. It was on sale at Costco. It's about $10 or $15 less than if you bought it online.
If you bought it Costco online, it's like $10 less. If you buy it in the store,
it's wobbling.
Well, yeah, because they're
And what's kind of cool is like you can swap out the flowers. You can
Yeah.
make different flowers, put different flowers in here. So different times of the year you can swap it out. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. How cool is that? Very cool. Yay. But she had built in the past. I had a boss who loved Legos, and he would pay other people, or he just wanted other people to build them. So Rebecca had built the Taj Mahal. She built the Saturn V rocket.
Coliseum.
She built the Coliseum. She also built this one. It was like 25,000 pieces. It was one of those custom things, where you get the instructions from somebody. You got to buy all the bricks, and then you use this 55-page instruction book or whatever it was. It was a massive book.
Yeah, but that was not actual Legos.
No, he bought all the knockoff Legos. That was not fun at all. There was some gluing and sanding and other things involved with that.
The Mother's Day advice from Rebecca: always buy genuine Lego. The knockoff Legos.
And what was super cool too, not only did he buy the Saturn V, he bought the tower.
Yeah, the tower was a knockoff.
Yeah,
Saturn V was real.
Saturn V was a Lego product, but then the tower was one of those custom deals that somebody came up with and sold the instructions. Wow, that tower was amazing. It did not want to stay together, but it was amazing.
Took a lot of glue, and I think there may have been some choice words involved.
Yeah. A Dremel was involved at times too.
Yeah, that's right.
With the knockoffs. Yeah, I brought I was like, oh, let's use the Dremel. So yeah, we made stuff work with glue.
Trust me, I know you're going to spend more money. Lego is absolutely worth it.
It's totally
the Danish know how to make precision.
They do.
Building bricks.
Let's run through the group cruises real quick again. So we got the Brilliant Lady, October 3rd through the 16th, 2025. Come join Rebecca and I. Be out on the hammocks. You can save 10% as long as we have them. Come to Italy and Croatia with us on the Celebrity Constellation, October 23rd through November 2nd, 2026. We got Ravenna, Split, Dubrovnik, Kotor, Messina, Salerno, Portofino, La Spezia, and Civitavecchia. If you want to stop the cruise there, you can. That is the group cruise. If you want to stay on the ship, there's a 15-day crossing that is going to go to San Juan. And then we're going to Hawaii with the Emerald Princess. February 4th through the 20th, 2026. That's going to be LA, Honolulu, Hilo, Kahului, Kauai, and Ensenada. Then that's 2026. And then Tony and Jenny B have a La Lita Loca Triangle cruise, which is going to be the 16th through the 23rd. Yeah, somebody said there's problems with TikTok. I don't know. That's April 16th through the 23rd, 2026 on the Norwegian Jewel. And let's see. I don't know. Do you hear something weird? No? Good. So La Lita Loca, April 16th through the 23rd, 2026. La Lita Loca again, April 11th through the 18th, 2025 on the Enchanted Princess. That's round trip New York, Canada, New England, New York, Newport, Boston, Portland, St. John's, and Halifax. And then last but not least, you still have time to join us in Alaska. 12 nights, Oceana Riviera, all the foods included. Oh my God, the food's amazing. And then, yeah, it's just going to be amazing. It's 12 nights in Alaska, including some stops that are up to 14 or 15 hours. We have 12 hours in Victoria. So it's going to be just friggin' amazing. So if you want to join us on any of these, and that Brilliant Lady 10% off, I cannot stress enough how rare it is for them to do that. I've never had them do that for me in the past. So, yeah, everybody's liking your bouquet. John says you don't have a cruise booked for February. If you do the Hawaii one, I may need a new job afterward. That's okay. You can find a new job. I think the 16-day cruise is worth it. Go out with a bang, John. I don't know how Roy feels about it, but I would say you go out with a bang, John, and you do the 16-day cruise. Plus, if you're going to do it, come on like 3 or 4 days early, spend some time in Disneyland. I mean, it is the 70th anniversary of Disneyland. So, John, again, I don't know how Roy feels about this. Roy, I don't know if you're watching, but I don't know how he feels about it. But
there is a catch-22. If you have no job, then it's harder to take more cruises.
I know.
But having a job makes it harder to take cruises. It's very...
Or you get a job that you take cruises.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Oh, that's hilarious. John didn't tell Roy about the Mediterranean cruise until 2 weeks after he booked it. Nice job, John. Hey, as long as you guys are still together, that's all that matters.
Walter would be in pretty big trouble.
No, I would not be in trouble at all. I can book anything I want. I just tell her later.
Uh-huh.
No, it does not work that way. Even us, I think there's a misconception out there that, oh, travel agents just get to travel for free. No,
They
no.
used to ages and ages
ago.
like-
They might have gotten more perks out of it, but no, we pay for 95% of our cruises. On occasion, we do get invited. Like Virgin Voyages has invited us on a couple. Margaritaville did invite us on their inaugural. We always tell you guys when we're invited. And
every now and then we do get a discount, but it is rare.
rare. Like this Brilliant Lady cruise, yeah, we're paying full price. The Emerald Princess, we're paying full price. So I mean, we do this travel obviously partially because we need to. We need to understand these ships. We need to understand what's going on. Obviously, we do enjoy it. This cruising is one of our first loves. We are going to start looking into land tours. We're going to start looking into all inclusives as well. We do love to travel, and part of the reason why we're on so many cruises is because we work so doggone hard that when we're home, there are weeks that literally I will go like maybe 2 weeks without ever leaving the house, like not even to go grocery shopping. I'm in the house for 2 weeks straight, just working. And so that's one of the reasons why you see us on so many of these cruises. And we're going to places that we want to do. We've always wanted to do Canada, New England. Always wanted to
we
do.
haven't been before.
Yeah, we've always wanted to do the Hawaii round trip from LA. We also want to do the Pride of America round trip in Hawaii.
Hopefully that will continue.
Yeah. So we do take a lot of these cruises, but it's not like we get them for free. A lot of people are like, well, you just go on all these cruises for free. Yeah. Actually, we pay for most of them. And we do pay full price for a lot of them. So Alex says he'd love to go solo. He gets to decide where and when to go. I tell you, talking about a solo traveler, I can't wait to see what happens in August with me and Miss Stephanie. We're going to be roomies for the first time. She's an amazing solo traveler, as you know, but she really wants to go on the Star of the Seas inaugural sailing, which is still the inaugural. It's the 7-nighter, but she really wanted me to go with her. And how can you say no to Stephanie? I mean, come on. So Stephanie and I are going to be roomies. It's going to be hilarious. And actually, Stephanie and I are going to be at Epic Universe on Saturday.
Next week.
Yeah. Well, yeah, today's Sunday, so I would think it's next week. But Saturday, Stephanie, myself, and my good friend Mindy, we're all going to be at Epic Universe for a preview day, and we're doing it, man. We're staying there for the full 11 hours, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m.
So Walter and his ladies.
Yeah. So it won't quite be dark, but we do want to see what the lights look like at night. So yeah, so next Saturday is going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if I'll go live from there at all, but you never know. But we'll certainly have some content from Epic Universe. I'm so excited. I hope everything's working. I mean, that's one of the things about going for the previews. We did see something that I think yesterday through Friday, like the Ministry of Magic is closed and something else is closed because they're doing a lot of work on those right now. So it should be interesting. Benny said you shouldn't need tools to build Legos. In theory, you shouldn't. That's just that little rubber mallet. Like they always show people like hammering with that little rubber mallet. But yeah, sometimes you just can't get
Legos.
Those knockoff Legos, man. You just never know. Dremel tools are handy. Sandpaper is handy. Glue is handy. You never know.
That's what I'm saying. Real Legos.
Oh my God, it is amazing too because they look exactly the same.
The directions are confusing. Way more confusing for the knockoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And that may be a translation issue, but
it probably is. So the lesson you've learned today is if you're going to buy Lego, don't buy the knockoffs.
Do not. I don't care how much money you're saving. It's not worth it.
But that castle was phenomenal.
It was.
I'll find some pictures and I'll post it in the Where's Walter travel group today. I will go find it. It's over 24,000 pieces. It was a rather spectacular castle. In fact, I should go find Tony's Lego group and post it in there. But that was a crazy ass castle.
It looked better in pictures than it did in real life because like I knew how.
Yeah.
It was
it's beautiful
held together with string and spit.
I should have asked everybody, is anybody doing anything special today? If your mom is still with you, make sure you call her and tell her you love her and And if she's near you, give her a hug, because I'll tell you, once they're gone, man, it really does hurt. Every time you get a Mother's Day, a Father's Day, you really do wish you had one more, Mother's Day or one more Father's Day with them. So mine are gone. So her dad is gone, and her mom is the only one left. So, make sure you call them, wish them a happy. And
we'll be doing that later this afternoon.
Yeah, she will. So I do love her. She's hilarious. She's hilarious. Socially
Sometimes not on
awkward, kind of
purpose.
like you.
Come by it naturally.
Yeah. See, Spunky, your mother passed in 2022. I'm telling you, man, once they're gone, you'd give anything. Even if they were the most annoying person in your life, you'd give anything just to be able to pick up the phone one more time. So, yeah.
It was interesting when after my mother's parents passed, and they both passed within 6 months of each other, even though she was probably in her late 60s at that point, she said she felt like an orphan.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
If your mom is still around, and especially if your grandma is still around, definitely give them a call today. Or if they're close by, take the time to go see them and give them a hug. It is so worth it. It is so worth it. So, yeah. Mother's Day and Father's Day. Always interesting here. I do miss my mom a lot. My mom was my biggest fan. I think the coolest thing about my mom was she never pushed me to do anything. She just said, you're going to college. So I really don't care what you do, but you're going to college. I didn't really want to go to college, but she made me. And so that set in motion everything that has happened. I went to Syracuse University. Right out of Syracuse University, I got a job at CNN. That's where I met Rebecca. That's what started my whole television career for the first 32 years, television marketing, all that good stuff. And everything I learned there actually translated brilliantly right over the travel, booking, and especially the managing part, managing all of your travel and making sure that you're getting timely notifications and all of that. It just translated brilliantly. So I owe everything where I'm at, including my wife, to my mom, because if I don't go to college, I don't go to CNN, I don't meet Rebecca, and none of this happens.
Well, in a car accident.
Oh, in my car accident, yeah. That's true. It all starts with a car accident way back. But that's the story for another day. That's the story for it. Does literally start with a car accident. Yeah, that started the whole ball rolling. But it was my mom insisting. She always said, I don't care what you do. I will support you with whatever you want to do. I just want you to go to college. So that was good.
So you could have studied French poetry.
I could have studied French poetry. That would have been fun. That would have been real handy in October when we go up to Montreal and Quebec. I've got some friends. I've got some clients in Canada. They're like, oh, yeah, brush up on your French. Make sure you talk French up there. I'm like, oh, God, that ain't happening.
Google Translate.
Yeah, we'll just use the translator. That's all. So Spunky lost your mom, and a week later, your mother-in-law, and a week later, oh, my gosh. Wow, I am so sorry about that.
That is a
hard way to do that. Man. Wow, mom and dad were like a year apart.
Yeah.
Something like that.
About a year.
My grandparents were like 6 months apart, too, or less. Too, yeah. So I still remember that.
With people who've been together many decades.
Yeah. So, yeah. I was very lucky. I grew up in New York, and there were two houses connected. It was like an L shape. So I grew up with my grandparents in my backyard. So it was like having an Italian restaurant right in my backyard, which was awesome. And growing up, my grandfather would watch the New York Yankees. So I would go back there, and it'd be Phil Rizzuto, Bill Messer, and Frank White every single night during the baseball season. I would sit in there with Poppy and watch the game till about the fourth or fifth inning, and then I'd go to bed. So, yeah, I really do miss that. And I feel bad for people who didn't grow up with their grandparents right there. I know a lot of people think that's weird, but it was so awesome having that multi-generation at all times. Almost every dinner, they were with us or we were over there, and Nani made the best grilled cheeses. Oh, my God. We would get this amazing Italian bread from Arthur Avenue in the Bronx, and then she would make these grilled cheeses with it that were just like off the chain. So, yeah, I love that. That's how I got into my love of grilled cheeses.
Neither of my grandmothers could cook.
No, they could cook, but you didn't want them to cook.
See, one of my grandmothers knew she couldn't cook.
Yeah.
The other one thought she could.
Wow. The Foodies Vacation lost
her.
3 parents. Oh, I didn't mean to bring everybody down by talking about how everything come down. We have the memories, which is awesome. which is awesome. Rebecca has really opened up my brain with food because, growing up in Poughkeepsie, New York, Chinese food was like exotic at the time I was growing up. And Rebecca introduced me to Ethiopian, to Indian, and now I'll pretty much try just about anything one time, just at least try it. So.
Yeah, and I haven't told you yet, but I have booked already one tour in Montreal.
Oh, have you?
Mhm.
What'd you book?
A private food tour.
A
Just you and me.
A private food tour?
Yeah.
Look at that. We're doing a private food tour in Montreal. Nobody else, just us.
I know.
I hope they speak English. Wouldn't that be hilarious? They're going to insist on speaking French the whole time.
They sent a survey. It was actually very interesting. This is, one of our clients suggested the trip. What's the
Get your guide.
Get your guide.
Yeah.
And so I booked it through them. And then the actual company that's doing the tour sent me a survey and they asked about English. And I put that as pretty darn important.
How about that?
And, so they asked a lot of questions
That's
about
cool.
what we wanted. So I'm excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, all
It'll be
right.
our first full day there.
Wow. I'm excited. Okay, folks, it's the top of the hour. As I mentioned earlier, I have two big groups that I'm talking to very shortly, a group of 16 and a group of 13 to talk about cruises. So, folks, somebody's saying try Montreal bagels. You better believe it. I will try anything you put in front of me. That's what we're doing in Seattle, too. We're doing a food tour. I'm doing a coffee tour in Seattle next month. Oh, we're getting so close now. We're like a month away.
46 days.
Going to Alaska, and we're 20 days away from going on the Norwegian Aqua. So finally going to meet some folks.
Just got checked in yesterday.
Yay. So, folks, I'm going to wrap this up now because I do need to get ready for my meetings coming up today. So I want to thank everybody. I'm going to remind you again, I'm Walter Wood. Oh, gosh, I didn't even talk about Royal Caribbean. God, we're having so much fun chatting. I didn't even talk about Royal Caribbean. This coming Thursday night, most Thursday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Can you be quiet? Most Thursday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern time. I try to have a travel partner on. And this coming Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern time on YouTube, we're going to have Royal Caribbean is joining us for a Q&A session. So be sure to tune in. It's 8 o'clock Eastern time. Kelly is joining me. My local rep here in Florida is going to be joining me to talk about all things Royal Caribbean for an hour. So if you're going to be around Thursday night at 8 p.m., I invite you to come join us. And if we can help you in any way with your travels, just always remember, where'swaltertravel.com. Our services are truly 100% free. So if we can help you in any way, where'swaltertravel.com. Wherever you're watching us, there are links in the bio or the description. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you back here next Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. If you're around on Thursday night, come join us to chat all things Royal Caribbean. Have a great day, everybody.